with Caps looking good. He was really good last weekend. I'm going to be excited to see what kind of form they are in this weekend. They've grabbed themselves the Nocturne, an incredibly powerful pick on this patch. Can really go anywhere on the top side, mid, jungle, top. I think it's great in all three roles. Of course, you will be giving over some power picks yourselves in the form of the Viego and the Diana, but Akali is also up, so this is kind of just a plethora of really strong champions right now, and both teams looking like they're setting up to run a very traditional heavy dive style of composition.
Yeah, I mean, one of the nice things about FlyQuest Academy, who's actually been doing quite well in Academy, obviously, which is very different. Definitely a team that understands the meta, understands how they want to play the game. It's part of the reason they're drafting at light speed for these last few picks, as they've taken Viego, Diana up against the Nocturne, Akali, Varus that C9 now have. Taking a little bit more time here for Triple's last pick, but looks like he's locking in Lucian.
And one of the things I actually really enjoy about a lot of the Academy teams is that they're more willing to be experimental. Oftentimes they're used as kind of like testing for the meta. Exactly. They're like, all right, get in there, see if this works. And as a result, the players come up and they're more willing to try new things and more willing to experiment and look for different builds and look for different champions. And I think that can transition well to the LCS stage. We can see that there are LeBlanc band coming through, so they're actually thinking that this is going to be a top Akali, jungle Nocturne. They think that mid lane has still yet to be picked. It is difficult, though, because, of course, it could actually be the Akali or the Nocturne going mid. So I don't expect to see a double ban on mid coming through for FlyQuest, whereas on the other side, it seems to be more of the focus towards the support, banning out the Lulu, which you would expect to be down in the support role. Lucian almost exclusively played mid lane. Diana should be jungle. Viego should be top, unless they want to flex down that Lucian to bot lane, but it just is not that strong these days, so really not expecting it.
All right, well, running down the clock now, it is Victor.
Wow.
So lots of respect here for Triple up against Perkz. Doesn't want to play either of those matchups as the Lucian.
I just am a bit surprised. I mean, maybe they're saying, you won't play Akali into my Lucian. You won't play this, so I know you're going to pick something else.
Oh, he will.
That's kind of how I feel, is that, you could still play Akali mid into the Lucian. You will go down some farm very clearly if the Lucian is playing that well. But, I mean, if you have something like the Nocturne jungle, that pairing is very deadly post 6 for the Lucian. So they could look towards that. Lucian mid, if they wanted to go towards the Senna, that would make sense as far as a champion that can kind of follow up on some of this dive and support in that style. I do think Jhin can do a similar thing, being able to be the follow-up or the initial engage. Just with the ultimate, you open up, you slow them down, everyone's piling in from your team, the Viego, the Diana, and you kind of try to create that chaos, especially if Cloud9 is not drafting any sort of traditional frontliner. Like, if you have a Mundo there, he just kind of tanks the Jhin ulti and he doesn't really care. And when you do have squishy champions, it's difficult to be willing to actually tank up multiple shots, so you often end up in a situation where you are just kind of every man for yourself trying to dodge out.
I do like the approach, though, that Jhin kind of gives to this team, so I think it is a cool pick, not something we see all that often. Nautilus locked in, and Twisted Fate locked in, so FlyQuest actually had the read about mid lane.
They had him downloaded. They knew that this was going to be that top lane Akali. Should be the jungle Nocturne here. I do worry for Jin's survival, though.
Yep.
This is not a champion that is really good against dive. It's very difficult for him to kite back. He has no sort of dash. He has no sort of self-peel. Unless you want to count the root, but like, come on.
Overtime Gale Force.
Yeah.
You're going to break that key. Trying to get out of there.
Unfortunately, it's a pretty long cooldown. And there's Akali, Nocturne. Now the point and click ultimate of the Nautilus, the follow-up. Even in the backline, Varus can reach you with the Q. This seems like a game that they want to play split map. The potential 1-3-1 here, very powerful. Get out to the side lanes. Nocturne can support side lane play very, very effectively. If you have Akali and TF pushing, you can move to one side. You can overload one side of the map. I do think that Kumo is going to have to be really careful here on the Viego post 6. If TF and Nocturne show up, 3-person dive on top side is incredibly dangerous. And you could also see that same play made towards Tomo as well as Diamond on that bottom side. So the side lanes here, I think in particular, for FlyQuest are going to have to be really careful. And NXI is going to have to do a really good job actually reading where Blaber wants to go, keeping vision out on the map so you can actually track when TF is leaving his lane, because he's got to be right place, right time. He doesn't have a global to be able to just show up once his opponents make the move. He has got to be there early.
And obviously, Blaber is a huge test for any jungler in the LCS, but this is definitely a trial by fire here for NXI. If you're not familiar with NXI, he was the MVP of last year's Honda Scouting Grounds. He is a player that is very exciting if you're invested in the up-and-coming talent of North America. In some ways, he does have some of that Blaber flair when he was a player in a similar position coming up into the LCS, but he doesn't have the same amount of experience. He doesn't have the same amount of titles or MVPs.
Doesn't have 2 MVPs.
Exactly. So it's definitely a mountain to climb here, but definitely if you're looking to have a strong debut as an up-and-coming LCS jungler, NXI is no better opponent than Blaber. Unfortunately, Perkz and Fudge are also in the solo lanes here, and it's looking like a tough time for any individual champion on the FlyQuest side, given how much dive and engage C9 have. Ooh. And they're even making it a bit spicier at level 1.
Yeah, gonna be wrapping around here. So I think Kumo saw Fudge, but he won't see the other members. So if you actually go for a wraparound behind, Fudge walks up at the same time, you try to escort him out, and it will just be a straight invade through try, so not gonna be anything happening from it. I would have actually preferred the wraparound. It is, obviously, you're gonna be spotted by the tower, but once you are behind them, there's not usually a great way to go. Either way, they are going to go for the attempts, which I always respect, especially if you actually watch a lot of level 1s from these teams. It's one of the easiest things to prep and actually study for, because you kind of just watch the first minute and a half of each of their games. You can go through very quickly and even just see what the standard positioning, like what the 5-point play is for a team. And sometimes teams do have clear weaknesses, and that has been preyed on in the past. C9 trying to make a move towards Kumo, who they thought may have been susceptible there, but not really any cost for them to do it.
Also, the trend of Cloud9 playing against people that used to be on their different teams continues. Kumo, Tomo, and Diamond have all been on Cloud9 Academy at some point. But even funner fact is Triple and Fudge were once teammates long ago on Mammoth in OCE.
That was
my memory serving me. So Triple, I think this is one of his only LCS games. I don't think it's his only one, but he hasn't had too many, even though he's been in North America for quite a while with FlyQuest Academy. So we'll see if they can perhaps meet each other at some point in the mid-game, because of course it is going to be Kumo versus Fudge here, and Viego, as expected, going to feel really good in the early stages of this laning phase.
Yep, gets the push. I mean, Akali just doesn't really have any ability to push early levels. It's so much energy on the queue at rank 1. You need to kind of get the rank ups to be able to have the ability to get a bit of push there. Oh,
Vulcan! Little miss there. Diamond remembering the, he's got the download. He's played with Vulcan for a long time on the same org. So dodging that hook quite nicely. That gives him the level 2 edge, and Tomo going to be playing nice and aggressively here alongside his Leona.
And people really do feel that Leona is one of the strongest answers into the Nautilus, because anytime the Nautilus goes for a hook, you can actually just Zenith Blade onto the Nautilus, interrupt that hook, and when it is support on support, AD on AD, Leona almost always comes out on top. With the Aftershock proc, with your W up, you are so incredibly tanky during that time frame, and it really can set you up for success there. You can see Tomo actually going for Boots 4-pot as the start. This is very high on regen. It makes a lot of sense against a skill shot heavy lane. You want to be able to have the move speed to actually dodge out on these hooks, to dodge out on the piercing arrows, and that is what he is really trying to do. And Zven on the other side, likely to go lethality. He is going to be playing the longsword 3-pot, and again, it's just about completing the items faster, about having the additional regen if you are getting poked out.
Yep, probably Dustblade again, as we saw from Turtle in our last game. Prowler's Claw has been changed enough where Varus doesn't want to buy it. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely getting less popular. You do see Eclipse sometimes, and I think Eclipse can actually, still work well at times, especially if you want the Vamp. If it is against a poke-heavy team, that can actually be pretty valuable. But Dustblade is definitely the most common of the options, and I mean, the haste passive on the Mythic is just really nice when you're playing a poke-heavy champ. A lot of cooldowns on the Varus, and you just get a lot of value out of that.
All right, well, NXI has finished his clear, walked into Blaber's jungle, and then going ahead to hang out. As Blaber also finished clearing. They're both level 4, so it looks like they're, for the most part, just ignoring each other, trying to get farmed up nice and swiftly. As you do see a blasting one already in the inventory for NXI, going to be battling a pickaxe there for Blaber. So basically the same type tier of item, let's say, but obviously going towards very different first mythics.
Yeah, very, very similar stuff there. We'll see if Triple can create any sort of advantage here in the mid lane. Generally speaking, TF is considered a weak laner in that you're not expected to actually win the 1v1s, but how he combats that is you do really focus on the push. You try to shove the wave, you try to actually avoid the combat, and where TF does really excel is that you have incredible gank assists. So that is where your opponents have to be worried. Lucian, if you go aggressive, as soon as a gold card is used, a blue card, whatever, you can actually dash in on this guy and take a winning trade, but all of a sudden if the jungler is there, the gank assist becomes very, very deadly. We'll see if Kumo gets caught out here. Blaber behind him.
Blaber is here. This is something, unfortunately, many are familiar with. Oh, and there's the dive coming through. It's first blood for Fudge.
Wow, that was actually really well done there from Cloud9. And I think in retrospect, it's easy to say, wow, Kumo, you should have flashed early. But I just don't think he thought he was in danger. And honestly, I didn't think he was really in danger there either. But Cloud9, with the Ignite on the Akali, they land the Fear Tether. You hit the Shuriken flip there. The E damage on Akali is so high now that they're able to actually have lethal damage here. I mean, Kumo is close to his tower. He's fairly healthy. He has the little dash to actually get back. And you got to think, he just thinks he's chilling. He thinks he's absolutely fine. But the Fear sets it up. The Ignite comes through. The E lands both parts of it. The Q as well from Fudge. That was just really, really well done.
Very nice there. And unfortunately, Kumo remembers the days where Blaber would gank his lane. His triple getting aggressive on the Perkz will force the flash away. This time, Shoes on the other foot. Jungler's on the other team.
Just
That's true. Not in the way he would have wanted. Remember
like
me,
this.
Kumo?
Never like this.
All right, well, Kumo does fall. Fudge still down. And yeah, so not too bad again. Viego pretty happy, trying to use his laning strength up against Akali's weak laning strength as TP back in for triple, who is getting some nice pressure. You do need to do this as Lucian, right? This is the expected result in this kind of lane. So we'll see if maybe there's a revisit with the flashless Perkz now in mid.
Exactly. I mean, he hit 6. He got the immediate culling down. It looks like Cloud9 are setting up, though, for this play. Perkz TPing back in. He's got the summoner heal here. Cloud9 want to scrap.
Diamond in the front line there, going to get CC'd up by Nautilus. Now going to go back through. Vulcan getting a little low. Diamond is going to not get it as now he gets the flash in onto Blaber. That looks like a kill to me as Kumo's getting the ulti. And Fly find 2 there outside the dragon.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Fudge not TPing down. And that fight went very bad for Cloud9. FlyQuest just set it up well. I mean, it looked like Cloud9 wanted to fight, potentially because Diana was not 6 yet. They knew that Triple didn't have his ulti cooldown. They're kind of tracking some of these things and feeling like it might go their way, but honestly, went very heavily to the side of FlyQuest. Both kills plus the dragon. The only real advantage that they will get is they will have a freeze up on this top side, so we'll see what the fallout is there. But Lucian pushes out mid, moves down. Cloud9 TP in, and they want to try to go over onto Diamond. You can see that Perkz is trying to actually zone the carries here, but as they hook forward, I mean, Vulcan just gets destroyed, and this is kind of what I'm talking about Leona versus Nautilus in this situation. You know, they did have the lockdown onto Diamond. They were hitting him, but he was just way too damn tanky. He doesn't actually end up getting knocked down. Vulcan dies in a hurry, and once he went down, people start hitting level ups. They pile in. Blaber has no real way out, so well-played fight there from FlyQuest.
Yeah, nice. It's like dancing, honestly, from Diamond. He was very close to dying in a bunch of different spots, but managed to bait them in long enough to finish off 2 kills there for FlyQuest. More importantly, they get the dragon out of the deal as the gold is still pretty even, but they'll be happy to get some gold in their pockets and offset the first blood gold that they got in top lane.
And with the early dragons, we know that pretty much no matter what the soul is, it's going to be very highly prized, right? You know, it's going to be mountain or ocean with Infernal coming up next. The first one was a cloud. And I think both of these have a lot of value. You know, Ocean is really highly prized when you have a lot of brawling style champions. These kind of more extended plays can be really, really good. And you also realize there's a tremendous amount of burst. So having the Mountain Soul Shield against Akali, against Nocturne, against Diana, these champions that want to just kind of straight up 100 to 0 you, and even actually against Jhin, it really does hurt Jhin a lot because Jin's damage amps up as you get lower. You know, the execute on the 4th shot, that type of play. And it's very, very difficult to actually get people low through Mountain Soul Shield. Likewise, with the Jhin ultimate, again, you're just hitting shields, and you don't actually push through that. So either way it goes, I think dragons are going to be a big deal this game.
Certainly looks like it, as Tomo and Diamond are very respectfully playing against the incoming brush play. Vulcan and Zven were both hanging out, but Diamond and Tomo are going to play back there. No need to overextend. Again, there's a Nocturne in this game that's level 7. There's a TF in this game that's level 7. FlyQuest do need to play pretty carefully in their side lanes because it is very easy for Cloud9 to pick up a straggler and get gold swinging rapidly in their favor.
And it's going to be Triple's job to just keep Perkz locked in his lane, right? Just shove, shove, shove. You try to make it so that even if TF goes elsewhere and makes a play, he's going to lose plates. He's going to lose farm. There's going to be a cost. And it also, honestly, just feels way better to sit back and have to play this defensive style, knowing that there will be a punishment every time they lose lane, knowing that you are really pressing. And you can see Perkz is into a very defensive build here. He rushes tabbies, knowing it is double marksman, it is Viego. Really kind of feeling threatened, I think, with the physical damage, and is trying to keep pushing up here, making plays, but Cloud9 are on a little bit more of a timer, I would say, in this game. You know, I do think their comp scales well, but just when you are playing TF and Nocturne, you really want to get out on the map and have a successful first ultimate. That often dictates the pace of the game, you know, if it's going to go really well for you or not. So they're going to be looking for those opportunities, and we'll see how long it really takes them to actually find the first one, because we're post 10 minutes. You can see, you know, Perkz is closing in on level 9, Blaber's already level 7. It's not extreme by any means, but they want to make that play happen.
Right, you didn't pick these champions to like scale them in at 30, right? You picked them to get stuff done in the side lanes with the ultis, as bottom lane continues to battle in top lane, slightly confusingly. Something that Oceanic players will be familiar with. Perkz is back in mid again, just trying to get the counter shove happening. Triple's actually got the Gale Force finish, so now even more pressure can come out of the Lucian. Definitely going to be looking at the mid game here for Triple, right? He's done the easy part of the game, which is laning against basically any champion in mid lane. The hard part is doing anything else when skirmishes and team fights happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of CC over on the Cloud9 team, so he's going to have to be careful. There's a lot of bursts, so definitely if you miss position, if you misplay, you will get punished there. But this is kind of that big payoff when you go for these differing styles of item builds, right? You know, you're looking over at Perkz. He's got a lot of pieces. He went for the tabbies. You know, he made a pit stop here as well for a Dark Seal. And over on Triple side, it's a straight Mythic Rush. So when you get that completion, your gold efficiency is so much higher. So this is kind of the highest level of relative power that you will have is one of these opportunities right now. So I think as a result, FlyQuest very likely going to be playing towards this next dragon, trying to make things happen, try to utilize this Lucian who's in such a great spot right now.
Yep. Of note as well, FlyQuest did get the first Rift Child. They haven't dropped it just yet, but I imagine NXI is going to use it to run interference in a lane when they try and take the dragon. So it does still have it. It's cooling down pretty quickly. Actually, doesn't have too big a window to use it, but I imagine FlyQuest have a play in mind.
Yeah, and it's probably for the Infernal, right? The Infernal's up in 10 here. You show up to a lane, you drop that, but if he dies here, it could be bad.
Got the cleanse. Yeah, NXI needs to be careful. Now going to get ultied up, and Blaber should be able to finish it off. Perkz TP's in to collect it, and Cloud9 get one.
Oh, none of these didn't get that kill. Shelly might expire because of that death. I'm not sure on the exact timing, but if that expires, that is really costly. It is going to be close.
Looking close.
I'm not sure on the exact timing, so I'm not going to guess. We'll just wait and actually see here. But Fudge pushing on the top side. He has the Riftmaker completed, and now is kind of his time to have fun.
Perkz, though, is going to get shut down by Triple. Gale Force still ready, but Triple has to be careful. Does not want to face check a go cut there, Shelly. It's fine, everybody. It's fine. Right on time.
That was so close. That was down to the last final seconds there on it.
Killing a diamond. Perhaps does end if they can't quite find the way there. Very nice hook out of Vulcan to get himself to safety. Kind of grappling hook to the wall. I guess that's the prototype of the upcoming champion. Triple, though, still pushing, applying pressure. FlyQuest, they've got enough respawns to play for this Drake. This is nice. Like, yes, your jungler dying before Dragon usually is a bad sign, but FlyQuest have actually been able to get back to get this objective.
Yeah, and I think that Cloud9 aren't going to try to contest whatsoever. You could see that they hadn't based early. You know, Perkz kind of chilling around.
Yeah, you gotta be careful. Gale Force, very nice stopwatch.
He still has flash.
Triple, finding it there, gets the flash in, there's the auto attack! And Triple, the boy from solo, kills Perkz, and Blaber's gonna make him pay for it.
Nicely done there by Triple. You cannot flash an auto attack, and that is why you gotta early flash in those situations. The Rift Herald actually arrives bot, so it even gets the charge.
Perfect timing!
Oh.
That was the plan the whole time as Diamond's been bound up by chains of corruption. Pops the W, dodges the skill shots. TP's coming in hot though as Fudge. Looking to maybe make it happen. TP in from Fly though as Fudge. Finds Diamond there. Kumo now TPing through. Fudge though very evasive, very tricky to try and kill Akali as Blaber. Ulti's back down. FlyQuest getting shredded as Fudge finds the triple kill.
They got the stronger Aussie. He roasts them in the bot lane. Fudge. Everything he hit there was AoE. They all stacked up on the exit, and Fudge just deletes him. Going through multiple members there with the ultimate, hitting him with the Qs. That TP paying off massively because now the gold lead explodes. He hasn't even gotten to spend all this gold that he's going to have in his pockets. I mean, he just completed the Riftmaker. He's now 4-0. We know how dangerous that snowballing Akali can be. Here it is one more time. Fudge watching the play the whole time, seeing that they're going forward. As soon as the hook comes in, as soon as he sees the root land onto Diamond, You can see the ping. He's saying, all right, we're going for Leona first. He's trying to bide his time, get the Shroud down. Nice sidestep there on the Leona ultimate. And then it's just absolute cleanup duty here, roasting the FlyQuest members who are trying to get through. He had the early R1, so that R2 was ready to hit everyone from FlyQuest.
Yeah, sick execution there from Fudge.
Would you say perfect?
I would say perfect execution.
Wow. Good ability.
Fudge on the top side, pretty good ulti. As Perkz with the blue buff now is pushing a different lane, wants to try and avoid triple, which I guess I can't blame him for. But again, Perkz feeling just fine. He'll get carried by Fudge as Akali this game.
Yeah, he's chilling. I mean, he's going to have value, right?
Yep.
You play the side lanes on TF, you threaten that, but they're looking for a pick here.
Something about being a MSI champion, I guess, makes people want to kill you as NXI is going to take him down. It feels like they're just picking on him at this point. I guess can't really pick on the Akali, so I have to pick on the other one.
Oh, nice Gale Force there. Dodging out from Zven's ulti, and that actually gets Blaber's ult too? Did that? Yeah, it did. Yeah. Wow. So I think they were pretty certain that that was actually going to land. Because Tomo has a great dodge there with the Gale Force, it costs not one, but two ultimates. Blaber really yet to have an effective ultimate this game. Fudge, he's threatening to dive. He knows he's strong.
Kumo's, I don't care if there's no one else here. I'm enough afraid of you, excuse me, even though Fudge doesn't have the Ignite. And I mean, yeah, Fudge is powered up enough that Kumo does have to respect him. Laning phase was all fun and games for Kumo, and now it's Fudge's turn in the side lane.
Yep, absolutely level 12 here. I mean, he's 2 levels up on Kumo. The experience differential is going to get worse because he's actually getting zoned off all that XP now on the bottom side. He got the Blighting Jewel there, which is very powerful after those last couple of kills. 7 stacks on the Darksteel. So he is looking good. And yes, Perkz has been picked on. The laning phase did not go amazing and did get picked off in the side lane as well after getting solo killed in mid by triple. So FlyQuest, doing a good job being proactive, trying to find their moments. They do also have the 2 dragons in their hands. But this is something that I think Cloud9, more so than most of the teams in the league, is willing to do, where they're fine giving up of objectives as long as they're trading gold for it, right? And this is an absolutely strong strategy. I just think it's one of those things where you pick one or the other and you hard commit to that, because where it really goes wrong is where people kind of waffle and they sort of show up to the dragon, but they sort of have someone in the side lane and they don't really get much of anything. It's totally fine to say, guess what? We're never going to show up to these first 2 dragons. We're going to push towers. We're going to take jungle camps. We're going to extend our gold lead so that when we do show up, we're going to be richer and we're going to win the fight.
Yep, and again, for all the, the pressure Perkz had to absorb, level 11 has the rank 2 ulti ready with the Everfrost. He's going to have a ton of utility to set up for Fudge, to set up for Zven. So more than enough here as NXI does indeed pop the second Herald. This time it's behind the mid-outer, as FlyQuest are once again gearing up for this dragon. This Herald will be nice if he can get the tower, and the charge should indeed confirm that, but FlyQuest more than anything want control of this dragon.
And it looks like they're just going to get it for free. Fudge still topside, no TP. Unless he bases right now, okay, so he's going to run down. So they are going to try to challenge. He's not going to pressure for the tower just yet. We will see if FlyQuest setup is going to be enough to really kind of get them an edge. There is one ward. I'm not sure if that's Scuttle over by the dragon, but you can see one blue ward on the mini map.
Uh-oh, here comes Blaber. Lights are out. Great hook for Vulcan. Finds a pick. And that's going to be a kill indeed. Diamond will fall. That's now big. 5v4 as the Chains of Corruption hits NXI as well. And FlyQuest just have to abandon ship on this dragon.
Yeah, nicely done. The Nocturne ulti there, even though it is on Diamond, this tanky member, this guy that you're not really wanting to go for, he was sectioned off, and Fudge was threatening the flank on the team. So it was actually a difficult area for FlyQuest to really fully commit to a fight from, because if you go and you pile through that corridor and Akali is behind you on these double marksmen, it is going to be a nightmare. So Cloud9 going to be able to not only push out that side lane, but also take the dragon, get the kill. And now they're threatening bot here. Triple's in trouble.
Really nice dive. Ulti's going to follow Triple. Just flashes, Gale Forces, everything out. Will escape the situation. Is there a TP? Kumo does have his, but no follow-up there. It would be a 2v3, so likely ill-advised as Perkz is going to Everfrost the wave, and Diamond is going to try and reinforce, but there is no pick to be had.
A lot of trading of sides. Both teams pushing one side. No one here for Cloud9 to actually answer just yet. They are now basing and responding. Was a trade of flashes there, of course, between Vulcan as well as Triple. I like the attempt. even though he flashes and gets the safety, who cares? You got a more valuable resource by trading support flash for the carry, especially because he is their strongest member. He is the one that Cloud9 really does want to take out. And yes, now you don't have your support for the engage flash, but guess what? You've got Nocturne, you've got TF with flash, you have Fudge here who can try to get in on top, and it's going to be incredibly difficult for Triple to actually survive in these coming fights.
And items are starting to be completed there. Srolda's Grudge finished up for Triple. See this all the time. But more interestingly to me is that Zeal in Perkz inventory, which almost assuredly is rapid fire cannon.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense. You're already behind. You're not going to be going, AP one shot, 20 kills. How does he get away with it? YouTube highlights. It's going to be about locking them down, right? Your Everfrost, your Tabbies. You go for the rapid fire. You act as this kind of pseudo engage. You play side lanes. You push it out. You threaten towers, and you look to collapse and play towards your strong members, right? Perkz, whether he's ahead, whether he's behind, he can still ult to that side lane, lock someone down for Fudge, and that person is very likely dead unless they have multiple members there behind them. Because Fudge doesn't need help as far as the damage goes. He's got more than enough.
Yep, still the 7 stacks there. Exile looking to make the play. Zven with a great flash. But now Tomo letting the ulti rip. Vulcan's a target, but the lights are out. Blaber going in. Thumbs up in the stasis. Very stylish as Blaber is going to fall, and FlyQuest is going to turn it back around. That calling is going to get one more. Perkz is going to fall to Kumo, but Fudge is popping off. Gets a couple on the back end, but Diamond is still going to get that kill as Kumo finds the resets, takes down Zven, and FlyQuest, they'll ace C9.
They're going to get the Baron as well. That is huge. FlyQuest, their full Academy roster sub in here and taking it to Cloud9. They get the ace. That was also the TP off of Fudge. He goes down, so a fat shutdown as well going over to them. Oh, they're going to have to back it up. I spoke too soon, as Jhin not exactly a Baron Slayer.
Nope.
So unfortunately for them, they won't be able to get that follow-up. Still a big deal as the gold almost back to parity, but the fact that they can't actually kill off the Baron is so big. Because Viego has good damage to it, but Viego is actually tanking the Baron, so he has the reduced damage, and Jin's DPS is just honestly so damn slow. So with the kills that C9 did get, they at least prevent that. We can watch this one more time. Our Bud Light ace. Zven flashing back here to safety, actually playing it pretty well, but as they do pile in, Blaber insta-stunned up there by the Viego. He goes down in a hurry. Everyone's getting roasted. Perkz as well as Vulcan get deleted by the culling. Yes, there is that trade kill backed by the Akali, who manages to get in onto the Lucian, take him down, finish up that second kill for himself. It's just too little too late, as Zven had been pushed out, and his front line was already dead.
Oh man, Triple wouldn't work. Even though he got picked up by Fudge. Very nicely done there. 4.5k DPS on the fight. I guess total damage, it's not damage per second. Don't worry about it.
Maybe it was a 1 second fight.
Could be, that's true. Gotta be careful with things like that against a former MMO champion. Sorry, with a former MMO champion. By my side, FlyQuest though. Looking to push things forward. Again, the Baron is the point of attention. No quick soul snowball to be had today.
Perkz is far up.
Fudge also far up here. Who they want?
Oh, he's dead.
Gets stunned. See you later, Perkz. Can't TP out of that. Has exhaust, no flash. Gets long range stunned by Diamond. Who gets the kill but Triple? It's Tomo.
Man,
it takes it.
Perkz, that ult was so late. Like, they knew people were coming up the river. Use the ulti early, reveal, see where they are, see how close they are. He was so slow to make that play. Not only does he give up the ulti, he gives up a free death, and they are now onto the Baron here with 5. Cloud9 in the 4v5, going to try to defend.
Yeah, FlyQuest turning the Blaber going in, trying to pick off Tomo on the backside, but the heal is popped. Blaber has to dive deeper. Fudge can clean it up. Tomo is going to fall, and Akali is so deadly. NXI going to get assassinated, but the ulti's there just in time, so they can clean it up on the back end. Now 3v2 as Kumo is now Akali, but no ulti there for the Viego, so FlyQuest will back away.
Yeah, Cloud9 with the heroics there. Fudge into the backline there, getting another double kill. Making up for Perkz' mistakes, honestly, here. A number of times this game, they are now moving down towards that dragon. It will be their second mountain dragon here, so gonna be pretty nice, stacking up the resistances. And that power of that mountain soul looming here is gonna make it really, really difficult to deal with a lot of these Cloud9 members. Their front line is going to be tankier. It's going to be harder to actually burst down Zven. And that is something that Cloud9 really wants to get towards, and FlyQuest is going to try to stop here. So we can watch this one more time. This is after they had already killed off Perkz, who, just quite frankly, was way too slow with his ulti. They decide they're going to go in for the play, and as soon as they actually get vision, you can see Fudge is set up on the side. They're waiting for Blaber. Blaber starts it off here with the Nocturne ulti, trying to go through the back line. Zven doing a good job actually kiting back after landing the ult, just trying to poke through with the arrows. Fudge misses the E to start, but he has the ulti to actually flip into the back line, takes down NXI, had already gotten the initial kill as well on Tomo, had that first E hit, maybe has enough juice to actually take down the Lucian as well and get a triple. But still, a well-played fight from him, and he has been so critical for Cloud9 in this game. He really is their chance. I mean, 8 of their 12 kills. He has been the one getting work done in pretty much every single team fight.
Yeah, at least right now, Fudge is the one that has to carry this game further forward there for C9 FlyQuest. They're actually not up, but they're kind of playing like it. They're definitely very confident around this Baron. Yeah. They're confident in their team fighting. They know C9 has to play into them around these objectives.
Absolutely. And when you have these situations, everyone in.
Blaber piling in once again. Diamond going to be the target. And that's a decent amount of damage, but not enough to kill him just yet. Diamond getting low, but not dead just yet as the Culling returns fire. And that's a great ult by NXI. Kumo going to dive in there to finish off the job. And that's 2 already as Zven is going to get crushed. So Gale Force in for triple. Kumo finds the reset for the kill. And that's 3-0 clean there for Fly.
And surely this time it's going to be Baron. You can see Fudge heading over. He knows there's a couple low members, so he maybe wants to try to go for some sort of a heroic play. Don't think it's going to happen. You can see he's just on the Gromp now on the mini-map. So FlyQuest will secure this. So big for them. I think Blaber thought Diamond was maybe out there by himself. I think he thought he was sectioned off. And when you commit to that ulti, if you cannot get that kill right off the bat, you're committing so many resources to the Leona, who is just not a valuable kill for your team whatsoever. And the initial positioning for Cloud9, once they realized all of FlyQuest is there, was just not there to actually commit to the team fight. Vulcan wasn't in position, Zven's not in position. You know, no one could actually really follow up on the initial play from Blaber. So as soon as Diamond survives, as soon as he's got the whole squad behind him, it all went bad for Cloud9.
Let's say so far, Leona, been pretty well calibrated today.
Yeah.
That's smooth as Leona in the last game. Diamond's looking pretty clean on it. FlyQuest feeling like they're in position to kind of extend this lead, right? It's been a very back and forth, first 25 minutes. Had some great moments on either side. Had some oopsies on either side as well. But FlyQuest now a real opportunity to open up this game, to really give themselves a lead where they can, make the last few steps to winning this game as Diamond has found Vulcan. But not much left there as FlyQuest just taking over Cloud9's red side here.
Yep, pushing in. They take the tier 1. They try to take away the jungle. You can see they're trying to deny vision. Cloud9 with that very shallow vision that they have into their own jungle. As the observers showed us there with Toggle. Blaber on the side trying to spot to find an ulti, and they're going to actually commit to this.
That's Fudge.
Kumo does have teleport. He's got a TP early, otherwise the Nocturne will deny his chance.
Yeah, Tomo getting in there. There's the Nocturne turning out the lights as you mentioned. But TP does come through now. Triple's going to be the target. They need to pick him off. Fudge diving into the back line. Cloud9 align it so well as NXI. They're trying to make it happen, but Fudge, he's found the Quadra. Give the man the Penta. He's so low, but he's not going to get it as Kumo finds the reset, but he's going to be left for dead. It's Cloud9 this time. They find their ace.
Oh my God. Fudge is finding the most insane team fights here. Catching so many members there from FlyQuest. As they stack up, he is just erasing them. Gotta give credit, Kumo so fast with that TP actually to be able to get it in time so that it wasn't denied by the initial ulti from Blaber there. But again, it's down to Fudge. He has the deep TP flank. He finds the angle. He gets onto the back line. Triple was basically pushed back by that initial engage right into the Akali. We can see it again in our Honda performance play here. The TP again, so fast. It looks like is that like a same time thing? Or maybe he had a spell shield or something and actually immune that. But either way, Triple pushed back, but into the waiting arms there of Fudge. Perkz ulting into the back line as well. There for the assist, and Fudge is just roasting them. Gets into the Shroud early. Everyone from FlyQuest knows they've got to collapse on this Akali to kill him off. But that naturally then stacks you up for the AoE damage. Fudge is loving it. The fans are loving it too. He has been incredible. 12 kills.
And only 7 pages in the book. Surely a few more to write here in this game. We said it. Fudge is Cloud9 right now at this juncture of the game. And he's playing like it. Kind of has to at this point as FlyQuest are indeed going to get this dragon off the back of all this reset by the looks of things. Perkz is still split pushing. This is something that C9 can do the later the game goes on. We identified it in the draft.
Yeah.
This is a strength of their comp, most certainly. And Perkz is no stranger to side lane play.
No, absolutely not. I mean, it's been one of his strengths through his career, but just kind of due to the nature of this game and the fact that he got very far behind, he's been picked off a number of times. That's basically the first thing he's gotten done in the side lane the whole game, right? You know, we're almost 30 minutes in. He really has not been effective in the side lane this game. He has not been finding good ultimates. He has not been pressuring towers. Now they feel a little bit more comfortable after that fight.
This is so nice for Cloud9. They're just waiting in the shrubbery. They're going to take down triple. And is Fudge the best player in the LCS? That is a very good question. I'm going to say maybe.
Maybe. He's getting damn good. Fudge has been really building a case. When you look back to spring, when he first came in, and think to the lock-in tournament where it's like, this guy is the biggest liability. He is the reason his team loses games. And you look at how far he has come, how much he has developed as a player. He was incredible internationally for Cloud9. Yes, things didn't work out for them as a team, but damn, he was good. And everyone will at the very least tell you now he is an elite player. He is one of those top laners in the league. And he's a guy that you can count on to really make big plays, which is so valuable. He has the confidence to look for these plays. He has the ability to carry games when he gets ahead. And this game is far from won. I mean, despite the fact that he has 12 kills, there's so much pressure on him to be good in every team fight. If he ever gets locked down and dies pre-Zonias or unable to get into Shroud, well, guess what? All your kills are on this one guy. That is your power, right? The rest of the team is really not in a position to actually carry these fights. So he has got to be effective. He has the ability to do it. He has the gold to do it. But it also means a lot of pressure on this young player.
And you've seen like what Cloud9 have to do to find team fights, to find kills. There has to be very deep flank angles, like lots of scrappy skirmishes, very chaotic fights. Like, you're not going to win a normal team fight with this kind of comp.
I thought you were going to go a different direction. You see what they have to do. You just have to go in there and get a Quadra on Akali.
I mean, it's kind of what it's been.
It has.
All right, well, Vulcan gonna not face check the rest of FlyQuest. That's good news for them. Also, as a reminder, FlyQuest did get the third Mountain Dragon, so they are ready for the Soul in 2 minutes and 40-ish seconds. But it looks like Baron is going to be the playground in the next 20. FlyQuest did a really good job of setting up and securing this objective last time, but Fudge is abandoning any attempt at Baron currently. He's actually split pushing in the bottom lane. So C9, again, such a good understanding of what to do when they're behind as well, right? Yep. Pressuring the side lane, abusing the fact that Fudge is so powerful. FlyQuest have to make a very quick decision and go to Baron.
Yep, and they're going to start it. Now, Cloud9 does have the ability to check this both with the blue orb on Blaber as well as Perkz' ultimate.
There it is.
The question is, how fast will they do it? They have eyes on it now, but this is probably... Oh, okay, they're going for the fight.
Oh, they want Perkz, actually. But
Fudge
now Fudge is found to flank once again. There's the engaged Fudge now. Looking just to play cleanup as the damage is pretty massive. Fudge, so almost gets himself picked up, and now Triple is chasing down the Akali. He's not going to get the kill just yet, and FlyQuest, I think, are winning the fight on the other side. No, instead, it's Cloud9 that are cleaning houses. Kumo is trying to do something here, but Perkz goes golden. Now the resurrection happens in for Kumo, and Perkz has to run. So Zven now going to look to finish off as Kumo's got to get out of there, and it's very messy, but it is Cloud9 that win the fight.
So many resources actually committed to killing off Fudge there, and for the first time, he wasn't super effective in that fight. He almost got instantly killed off. He does get over the wall, though, survives, and it took Triple chasing him down to get that kill. Triple did get it, but then that means the biggest carry right now, kind of on this side, on this FlyQuest side, had exited the fight for them. So we can watch this one more time. It is again the deep TP flank here. Fudge coming in from the top side towards these juicy carries. And let's try to watch Fudge and see exactly what happens. So he R's in there, and I think he just gets hit by the Leona ultimate. And so much AoE coming across. It looks like the Leona ultimate potentially, the Diana ult, the Viego ult, everything coming through, all that AoE piled on top. Very likely got hit by something from the Jhin and Lucian as well. And he's almost got 100-0 instantly. Once he's pushed out of that fight, these other Cloud9 members likely wouldn't have been able to win had it just been that 4v4. But because the Lucian is chasing him, because the Diana was pushed out, they have the numbers and they can kind of slowly take down Kumo. And critically, they also got his GA. So that is a very big deal. Zven coming up huge for them in this fight, was untouched and made the most of it here with an enormous amount of damage.
Yeah, Cloud9 definitely getting scrappy, but it's working out so far. We've traded off the Magi's. Fudge has sold his. He lost all his glory due to getting killed by Triple. So Perkz has picked up the mantle. Now got 10 stacks of his own, but Fudge got a death cap, in case you're wondering. So still feeling pretty good about what's happening.
Not a bad trade.
Yeah, not a bad one at all. Diamond, though, looking to make it happen. FlyQuest getting aggressive. Blaber, though, trying to find the counter ulti. Diamond, they're forced to flash away, but he's just not tanky enough. And now Fudge is going to leap into action. Kumo's been marked, but Fudge can chase you forever. Kumo now dead.
Oh!
Fudge looking to rip them apart, but FlyQuest, they do find the kill. Now Tomo trying to battle Zven, and he's winning, but the rest of C9 are coming in hot, and that's the big problem. Perkz will always be able to find you with the rapid fire cannon, but does he want to fight? Looks like no.
Oh, they're TPing back in. They need the dragon because they know this is FlyQuest's sole point, so he's got to get down there. Blaber is sectioned off.
That's the play. Oh, he actually got slowed by the mountain break. That looks a little risky, but now the steal. Guess it's going to have to be a 50-50. Blaber! He steals the dragon back, but he dies as NXI. Looks for Vulcan, goes gold and triple now, trying to make it happen, but he gets knocked up by Nautilus ulti as NXI actually got the kill. But now Tomo, coming back in hot, does get the other kill. Perkz going to go down as well. And one of the weirdest aces I've seen in a while, but it goes to FlyQuest.
It's a bloodbath pastry. Blaber, the absolute mad lad, flashing in there, does secure the dragon, which is huge. But now with the respawns, FlyQuest are heading over to Baron here. They TP in Kumo. Diamond's out on the map. This will be theirs. Cloud9 have no way to challenge for it, so they will again be on the map with the Baron buff here, looking to really extend their lead, try to threaten a potential end here. Has been such a scrappy back and forth game. And Cloud9 are just struggling to actually get to the backline. They're actually having to commit in a lot of these cases so many of their resources just taking down Diamond, right? You know, they're diving on a Diamond. Even the Nocturne ult used onto him. Blaber means, you know, he's going to take that damage as he's on Leona. He's pushed out of the fight almost immediately. Zven is actually struggling to reach the backline as well, who is kiting back and doing a great job focusing down people like Fudge. So we can watch this one more time.
Oh boy.
The Bud Light ace here.
It's a long one.
As Diamond goes in, the buffered hook was actually critical from Vulcan, and then they just turn. And they actually commit pretty much everything here on Leona. They do take him down, but look at Vulcan's health. Blaber down to half as well. Fudge gets into the backline, but I mean, that damage landing on him. You can see the Lucian passive double crit coming through, plus I think with the Q as well before that. Gets him incredibly low. He gets into the backline, does grab that one kill, but not quite enough left over to actually knock down those additional carries. I mean, FlyQuest is doing a great job focusing him down. Then the TP back in here from Triple. They commit to the dragon. They look to burn it down. Fudge is out, but Blaber still has his flasher available and just flashes over the wall. Q smite does secure it. That was massive. But then again, Tomo, who had kited away, arrives, flash in, auto plus Q. The burst from Jhin onto that Varus is insane. When you're against you're against those squishy members late game as that Jhin. Sometimes it's like an unironic two-shot. Like that was even a fourth shot, right? That was just a regular auto plus a Q.
There we go again. FlyQuest trying to siege here and look to break open this game because somebody's got to win it, Azael. As FlyQuest will indeed break through the front door and expose the inhibitor. Last bullet does not connect onto Zven, and that is good news for Zven. He is not that tanky on the Varus right now, but FlyQuest want this inhibitor. NXI going in there, found Zven. He's been deleted off the rift. FlyQuest looking like they're doing it.
Yeah, they want to push for the end here. Cloud9 do have 4 members alive. They've got 0 wave clear, though, so they're forced into taking the fight if they want to defend the Nexus.
Perkz, oh, he flashed him at NXI. Pops into stasis now. Wave is reinforcing. FlyQuest are going to have to go for it here. 40 seconds until Zven is up, so FlyQuest are looking to end the game. Triple going to get ulted up by Nautilus, but it's not enough there. Fudge again, you have to watch him in the Shroud. But now FlyQuest kiting back there. They're trying to find him out as Kumo doing a decent amount of take, but the AoE damage from Fudge, absolutely nasty there. And they get 1 kill. They're going to make it 2. No, FlyQuest, they fly back in. They take down Fudge. Kumo revives there. They get the kill on the Blaber. Now he's in GA as Perkz. We're going to try and reinforce, but Blaber going to be left out and will die. Kumo absorbs his power now. FlyQuest still going for it. Zven 10 seconds until he's back up and available. FlyQuest, they just need a little bit more. That Nexus is theirs as FlyQuest will take down Cloud9, and I can finally stop talking.
What a crazy game between FlyQuest and Cloud9. FlyQuest sub in the full Academy squad. They break the losing streak here and take down Cloud9. What a moment for these guys. What an incredible win.
Nocturne, look at the Academy squad to me, mate. FlyQuest looking good. I mean, clearly you can see the synergy between these players, right? Like, have built up a lot of that teamwork. Team fought wonderfully, but there were so many individual moments that had to happen to string that game together. And I feel like it's going to be hard to pick a player of the game because everyone had their moment this game.
Absolutely. You know, for me, I'm looking at Triple, though. I think that he was so good in the mid lane. Perkz was such a non-factor this game, and I think largely that was due to this Lucian in the mid lane playing aggressive. He got the solo kill early on Perkz. They picked him off on the side lanes, and they really kept Perkz out of those side lanes for a large majority of this game. But that man on screen right there, Fudge, was incredible on the Akali. But the problem is when all the gold is focused on this one member, when the rest of your team is behind, we saw it. FlyQuest is hard focusing this one guy. I mean, even in that potential base defense at the end, I think he got a 5-man R2. Like, it was through the whole team. He's aiming them all up, but no one is there to follow up. No one is there to finish them off. And that is a 10-game losing streak that FlyQuest was on.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. They break the streak in such an incredible way. You know, what a feeling for these guys. You know, the full Academy roster subbed in. Your first game is against Cloud9. It's like, ooh, that sucks. Sorry, bro.
Sorry.
And they won.
Yeah.
They did it.
Did they get the Mountain Soul? I don't think so.
No.
I think we didn't get there.
I think we got 6 dragons. We didn't get to Soul.
All right, well, as we were talking about there, the player of this game is indeed the Titanic Triple. Quite a performance on Lucian.